memories. Nothing passes through our lives and is perceived by our senses only to be forgotten without a reason. Yet, this forgetting is not an erasure. What we have forgotten can be revived through psychoanalysis or hypnosis, meaning that forgetting is never absolute. If it were, we would never be able to recall anything we had forgotten. Forgetting itself follows a peculiar pattern. For instance, if someone asks us the name of a person we know, we might struggle to recall it, exhausting ourselves in vain, only to forget the effort entirely. Hours or days later, the name may suddenly come to mind, unbidden and uninvited. This demonstrates that memories emerge from the subconscious, which the conscious mind only controls during wakefulness and alertness. Everything we experience in life from birth, everything perceived by our senses or processed by our minds, is forgotten not because it is erased from our memory but because it is repressed, barred from surfacing in the conscious mind. In truth, we forget nothing permanently. All that happens to us, especially what we don't need to recall at every moment, settles into the subconscious and remains stored there. The conscious mind, which governs our waking actions, suppresses these memories. Yet, when it falters, during sleep, distraction, or illness, and if the memories are strong, they resurface, bringing back things we believed were entirely forgotten and lost to time. This repression occurs constantly and can sometimes benefit the individual, as it is not useful for the conscious mind to remember everything. For example, if a child remembered every difficulty they faced while learning to walk, they might never succeed. They overcome these challenges one by one, forget them, and thus are able to walk. Similarly, if they constantly recalled their early struggles in forming words, they might never learn to speak. A child learns to speak like adults because their tongue retains the words of childhood, but their conscious mind suppresses these memories as they master proper speech. Repression is natural and necessary in animals, especially in species like certain fish that swim with fins in water but later adapt to crawling on land. If these fish remembered their swimming techniques while on land, their nerves would falter, and their movements would become erratic. Similarly, a caterpillar that crawls and eats leaves must forget its crawling instincts when it transforms into a butterfly. If it retained its original memories, it could not survive. Repression is essential, as these examples show, and it is equally vital in human development, from childhood to adolescence and adulthood. Forgetting is in our best interest, but what we call forgetting in everyday language is termed repression in modern psychology. Upon closer analysis, we realize we forget nothing permanently. Memories are merely stored in the subconscious, where they can be reactivated, having been repressed.